Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the WildWestGamer. You join me, the WildWestGamer, here in the Gaming Grotto. Lots of news today, lots of interesting stuff to tell you guys. First of all, who says it can't be done? Finish work, wandering around town, come across charity shop. What's that in the window, I wonder? It is, of course, a copy of Resident Evil 2 for £1.99. Now that in of itself is worth sticking up about a video. Like I always say with these videos, the point of them is to encourage you guys to once again invest in the retro. You know, plug in those old systems. Seriously. You know, games today, yeah, they're good, but you know what? The old ones, they may be better. And Resident Evil 2 is a classic. I also held in my hand at the same time Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and Tomorrow Never Dies, the James Bond game. Now, say what you will about that game, it's not brilliant, but it's still good fun. And Tony Hawk's 1, well, it's a classic, right? Fortunately, I could only afford one. Seeing as I loved my friend's copy of the game that he let me borrow, I had to get hold, of course, of my own. The discs are loose inside. I'm hoping they play well, but for $1.99, that's a steal, right? So yeah, that's the first bit of news. A nice find there. Every time I find something nice and cheap out there, I'm going to let you guys know, just so you know. I sort of kindle hope in you that you can find perhaps that one special game from your childhood that you want to find again. Second piece of news. The Gaming Grotto, as it is at the moment, is going to change. Me and the family are moving. We are moving up in sticks and moving. Move won't take very long, couple of days, at which point I may try and do videos in between. Nothing like a transitional period to sort of show you guys, the rebirth of the channel. Even though it's about a week old, half a week old. So yeah, the new place we're moving to has got an actual sort of outbuilding, which is perfect to set up a studio in. So the Gaming Grotto may become the gaming studio, but we'll see. Gives me a chance though to constantly make these videos, and I have to sort of organise sort of periods of time when I can do them, which is really cool, which I really enjoy, which would really be enjoyable for me to be able to know that I could just constantly make these things, and whip them out for you. But the point of this video today was I want to do another sort of talky one. It's one that I've been talking about with my friends, a very specific friend, Mr. Lee Phillips, who is a colleague at work as well as a friendo. He and myself like to discuss the hypothetical situations surrounding comic book films and films in general, and how we would do them perhaps if films are less than up to what we expected, and what we find awesome in them. So we basically sort of amateur analyze and critique films. Well, myself and Mr. Lee, who does watch this. So if you're watching, sir, I told you I would mention you. I promised. So you don't have to sue my ass. Also, people local to the Somerset area, Mr. Lee Phillips, member of the Tiny Face Experience, very big band. Check them out if you can find them playing. Again, really good band, really good band. Good music, good stuff. Check them out. Seriously, you're gonna love them. Big things. So there's your plug. All right, guys. Your plug. It's done. Pay my ass now. Pay it. So yeah, what we were talking about was, how should the Justice League of America film work? How should it be done? I mean, whenever that is when it's done. There's sort of scant pieces of information saying that it's going to be out to challenge Avengers Phase 2. Maybe not. And this is first of all how I stand on it. Justice League of America film would be awesome. It would be really cool. Why? Well, first of all, DC have been running around doing various superheroes now for years. They've done Batman in quite a few iterations. They've done Superman in a couple of iterations. They've even done Green Lantern. And there's that Wonder Woman film they've always been saying is on and off. And someone showed me a mock poster of Megan Fox as Wonder Woman. Fuck no. Seriously, fuck no. She's already playing apparently April O'Neil in the Ninja Turtles film, which I'm already fucking pissed off about. I'm going to do a video about that. That film I thought had been cancelled. I thought Michael Bay had learnt his lesson. Don't fuck with that shit. But no, the guy, massive fucking asshole as he is apparently is gonna carry on. Regardless of the fans, apparently he's insistent that Ninja Turtles, who are actually aliens, oh yeah, it's gonna work. Oh, and also Megan Fox clearly is the prime candidate to play April O'Neil. So great. Another piece of my childhood that's been raped by Michael Bay. Leave your opinions about that one, guys. I'm probably sure I'm not alone on that one. But yeah, again, I saw a fake poster for Megan Fox as Wonder Woman. No, the girl can barely act her way out of a plastic bag. She's not fit to be the Amazonian goddess that is Wonder Woman. So where would I stand there? It would be cool. It would be really good to see. Warner Brothers, with the rights they've had to the certain characters they have been milling around doing films. DC has been, happy to let them be made. It's all sort of been, they've been ups, they've been downs. But at the moment, DC's in a really strong position. They've just restarted the New 52 Action Comics. And the Detective Comics. That was last year sometime. That was cool. That was awesome. New iterations of the characters. They've just finished the Dark Knight Rises, the Dark Knight trilogy. Really brought Batman home to the mainstream, especially with the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. Again, very, very popular. Man of Steel is due out this summer. Again, a really cool, new, realistic, much more deeper iteration of Superman. Again, really cool. We had the Green Lantern. Alright, it missed the mark, but okay, you know what? It was one of the roles which Ryan Reynolds was perhaps better suited to play. Now, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. It's not because I don't like the guy. I'm just, the guy doesn't really bring anything that I want to see. Okay, so it's nothing personal. I just I'm not a big fan of his. So what I would say is I would recast Green Lantern first of all. If anyone was thinking of recasting him as Hal Jordan, perhaps get someone else. Nathan Fillion, perhaps. Now we'd all love to see that. Come on, Mal Reynolds, aka Nathan Fillion. That's right. He's not actually really Nathan Fillion. He's Mal Reynolds from Firefly. He would be awesome as Green Lantern. And I know people are going, oh well, he's a bit old. Yeah, but come on, it doesn't matter. It's fucking Nathan Fillion. The guy's like the geek god. He's like up there with Josh Whedon and like anyone who's ever played Doctor Who. It would be awesome. But why would it be good to make, but why it should be done properly? That's the point. Well, I wouldn't rush it to make it out with Avengers Phase 2. Don't. You've not nearly got enough time. You've got to remember, you've got to establish every character who's going to make up the Justice League, plus a credible threat. Now, me and my friend Lee, we discussed this, and I'm going to call him Mr. Phil. Mr. Phil, that's cool, right? I'm going to start that now. Lee Phillips is no longer Lee Phillips, he is Mr. Phil. So Mr. Phil and myself were talking, and that already sounds awesome. We were talking, and he said to me, which was really cool, and I agreed, and I actually was going to share the same sentiment. Don't do a film. No one knows yet what they're going to do. It may be. I'm not surprised if Henry Cavill plays Superman in the Justice League of America film. The guy looks really good as Clark Kent / Kal-El. He would be cool. Likewise, if Christian Bale is apparently rumored to be taking up the role of Batman again, or it could be Armie Hammer, or whatever his name is, or it could be Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the new Dark Knight, as we saw at the end of the Dark Knight Rises. So no one knows who's going to play it. Though if it was Christian Bale, or maybe Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that would still be cool. The thing is, that they would probably want Christopher Nolan in there somewhere to direct it. The guy's got a real hand for keeping things grounded and realistic. Likewise, at the same time, they'd probably want, again, a really good established director to do it. Now, I'm not surprised if they went and got Zack Snyder again, depending upon the reception of the Man of Steel film. Again, he's a guy who knows how to make big, epic films. And the Justice League, I hate to say it, I really like Marvel, but they're a bit more epic than the Avengers. I know the Avengers take on a lot of galactic threats, but at the same time, they're kind of more earthbound, whereas you've got a lot of aliens, you've got a lot of, extraterrestrially based, superheroes like the Green Lantern, and just a lot of it more interstellar travel. Oh, and Martian Manhunter, of course, who's a fucking Martian. Yeah, right. So that you need a big director to do it, but yeah, you would miss you don't need to do the Superman or Dark Knight film again. You wouldn't need to re-establish them. They've been so many iterations of those two characters in cinema. Everyone knows how, Superman and Batman became who they are. Everyone knows the story about, Kal-El and Clark Kent and Superman. Everyone knows that. Baby born on a planet Krypton to, a part of an advanced alien race. The planet is, under threat, is under danger, it's going to blow up. They his parents make the decision to send him to Earth, to cast him out into space. He lands on Earth after Krypton is destroyed. He is found by Jonathan and Martha Kent. He is raised as a human with superhuman abilities, and when he grows up, the truth is revealed to him, and he becomes the superhero Superman to defend truth, justice, and the American way. He defends the world from the powers that threaten it. Cool. Likewise, Batman. Everyone knows how Batman, the son of wealthy billionaires or millionaires back in the day. They're shot behind the theatre by Joe Chill. Is around yet. Bruce Wayne's already witnesses this, and from that day forward, swears vengeance upon crime. When he grows up, of course, he travels the world. He gains, skills and practices and all that sort of stuff. And when he returns to Gotham City, becomes Batman, the Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader who fights crime at night, he fights crime whenever. He is Batman. That's it. Everyone knows it. It doesn't matter how you tell it. We all know it. Now, even Wonder Woman, you wouldn't really need to tell. Then the Power Three. The Batman, the Superman, and Wonder Woman. You don't really need to tell them. All right, I'm gonna admit it now. I don't know how Wonder Woman came into being, but at the same time, I don't care. She's a massive female icon of the 60s when the TV show was out. A massive, massive icon. Everyone knows about Wonder Woman. She is a real... Even people who think they know nothing about Wonder Woman. A lot of girls now, for some reason, I see out at nights, dressed in fancy dress as Wonder Woman. You go to them, oh, you big Wonder Woman fan. Who? Okay, so it's people, regardless of whether they think they know about Wonder Woman, actually do. Likewise, other members of the Justice League, like the Flash. A lot of people know about the Flash. I'm going to probably say partly due to the Big Bang Theory now, but also just in general, a lot of people know about the Flash. Green Lantern, again, weirdly, Green Lantern actually is quite known by people. And then there's Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman. Now, Aquaman people do know of. I think it's probably more the fact that Aquaman is considered the shittest member of not only the Justice League of America, but of all the superhero community. And I consider that both across to Marvel. I mean, I've tried to find a Marvel counterpart who's just as shit as Aquaman. I'm seriously still struggling to find that person. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, Ant-Man, well, the guy at one point could turn into a fucking giant. Even he's cooler than fucking Ant-Man. Aquaman. Though talking to animals, again, is probably the lamest of the abilities to have when you're next to fucking Batman, Thor, Iron Man, or Superman, So yeah, but like I say, don't worry about doing films for The Dark Knight or Superman. Maybe do one for Wonder Woman, maybe not. Again, I don't think it matters. Now, I think you need to do a Flash and a Green Lantern film. The reason for this is you need to establish Flash as a really credible character, because to be fair, this is a guy who lives in Speed City and his superpower is running fast. Oh, coincidence. It's shit like that. You've got to make it grounded and believable, otherwise that's going to fall apart, because it can't breeze over that shit in a Justice League film. Unless you're going to do a fucking 4-hour marathon for this thing, don't bother about it. You've got to make it credible. Likewise, the Green Lantern. Now, the Green Lantern actually is quite epic. I did read an article when the Green Lantern films came out saying why a Green Lantern film could be on kin, and check this out, to the Star Wars films. Now, bear with me there, because a lot of people go, shut the fuck up. Seriously, it could be. Think about it. You've got this, this all-powerful galactic force that protects the universe through will. There are multiple alien races, multiple species. epic battles. You've got all of the other like Lantern Corps. You know, you've got so much there. I mean, you've got the enemy like Parallax. You've got Blackest Night. Sorry. You know, shit like that is awesome. You know, I mean, there's enough in Green Lantern just for it by himself, and plus the guy has a lot of cool powers to demonstrate. And Hal Jordan is a really likable character. So yeah, you know, there's that element. The Green Lantern, another film for that. Redo it. Again, you've got to be really careful. Some of the shit in the Green Lantern film I saw, a little bit cheesy pie, a little bit, you know, goofy. Some of it though was really cool. So you know, it can be done. I would say get Mark Strong back as Sinestro. He was cool. I really liked him. I thought that was quite cool. It's a shame that Michael Clark Duncan, who voiced Kilowog, died, because again, that was really good casting. So yeah, now, with the likes of Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, because there's no knowing how many of the actual Justice League they're going to have in, or whether it's going to be the original lineup. But regarding those three, whip them in to the films, work them in, because what I think the Justice League of America film should not be is what the Avengers was, which was a superhero brawl. Seriously, as much as I love the Avengers, and I really, really love the Avengers, the thing with that film is you kind of knew what to expect, which was going to be, well, before these guys work together, you've got to see them kick the shit out of each other, and that's what it was. You had everyone versus everyone, everyone fought everyone at least some point in that film, or mostly, but we saw who we wanted to see fight each other. So there you have it. Don't do that in the Justice League of America film. But what they should do is, with however they set up the films, and like I say, I've explained the reasons how I would set up the films, not doing a Superman film, not doing a Batman film, bringing in perhaps in the sequel to The Man of Steel, if they're going to use Henry Cavill as Superman in the Justice League of America film, bringing in elements perhaps of that. What would be cool is to see Batman at the end of the films, like in the Avengers films, building up to the Avengers, showing bits of Nick Fury and Robert Downey Jr. talking to General Ross, stuff like that. Like Batman perhaps comes out of the darkness after you see like Soup's on top of a building and Batman's there and he's like, "You're a hard guy to track down, I need to talk to you about an idea," or some shit like that. I don't know, some fucking goofy like that, but it would be cool. Perhaps start working things into that, but then dedicate films like The Flash and the Green Lantern to bringing in the other characters. Like I said, Wonder Woman, maybe not. Again, you have to establish the characters who are going to have the most difficulty with credibility. You've got to establish them. So that's that. Also, throughout all these films, is what I was going to say before I went off a slight tangent there. Establish the threat that is going to be in the film through them, because the problem is you've got to really think who could be a really credible threat to the Justice League of America for the first Justice League of America film, because a lot of people will go, well, Darkseid or Brainiac. Right, first thing about that, Brainiac, really? A guy called Brainiac, that's going to be your enemy? I just don't see it. Again, we're going for a credible, believable thing here. Just don't see it. Darkseid, yeah, I could go for that. We've got a guy in a red cape and his undies here flying around the world at the speed of light, shooting shit out of his eyes. I can believe that. Darkseid, like essentially a god who can shoot, again, he can shoot beams from his eyes, he's very strong, he's very powerful, and he's very intelligent. So he poses a threat to all of the Justice League. That would be cool. But again, are you not playing, are you not playing your top card there first, top trump first of all? Darkseid, I would consider to be perhaps the last, if they're going to do a trilogy of Justice League of America films, Darkseid would be the guy I would do last. He's a big player in the DC universe. I would do him last. Some people said Lex Luthor. Now that would be cool. The Lex Luthor for President storyline from DC Comics would be cool, because we would see Superman put into a position where, this judging that, of course, Lex Luthor becomes a villain in the Man of Steel films, you would see Lex Luthor become a real thorn in Superman's side. But also, seeing as he represents the President of the United States and its people, how does Superman fight him without going against what he stands for, which is true freedom in the American way? He has to obey his commander-in-chief. So how does that go? Which is, again, a very cool thing. Plus, of course, Lex Luthor, during his time as president, is working on all this shit to, take him down and bring down. Plus, they've got the Batman Superman Public Enemies film, that was the animated film that was brought out for inspiration. That's a very cool one, where the entire DC universe is essentially brought down on Batman and Superman because they refused to accept that Lex Luthor, a man who was a career criminal, is now president of the United States because they suspect him of being up to no good, which they're right about. Of course, there's also Doomsday. Now, Doomsday, he's a very, very powerful character, but a little bit too bestial. He's a definite match for everyone in the Justice League. He killed Superman. So would he be would he be something that would be worth, them thinking about? This is the thing, you see. You've got to think, well, if they're going to do this guy first, that means they've got to ramp up the tension, because the Avengers film, they started with Loki, which was a natural place to go because Loki disappeared at the end of Thor. You see him falling through the wormhole into space somewhere, comes back with a Chitauri, who he's loaned by the looks of it off Thanatos. Again, the guy who's got the Infinity Gauntlet. So that builds it up, and then of course there's talk for the Avengers 3 to even probably be World War Hulk. Or Galactus, because Marvel have tried to get the rights back, succeeded in getting the rights back to Silver Surfer and Galactus. That would be, again, a very cool one. And plus you could bring in then the Guardians of the Galaxy, which they want to do. Of course, bring in cameos from Silver Surfer so he can have his own film. Silver Surfer, of course, have to take on Galactus, but who will be better for the Avengers and the entire Marvel universe that Marvel Entertainment still has the rights to fight than the Planet Eater himself? But that's what I'm saying, there's a scale there of growing up. You go from Loki to Thanatos to Galactus or the Hulk. This is the full-on World War Hulk, we're talking about here, not just, your average Hulk. This is a properly pissed, mean Hulk, who almost takes over the world. He dicks on everyone. If you read the comic, he completely annihilates the world. It takes the Sentry, and for people who don't know who the Sentry is, consider him being he's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, if not the most powerful being in the universe. Hulk beats him into submission, albeit, the Sentry beats the Hulk back into Bruce Banner, but that's how strong the Hulk has got. He's beating up essentially gods. He takes out the majority of the Marvel universe. But that's what I'm saying. If Justice League of America is going to do that, they need to build it up in a series of, progressively more interesting enemies. You can't just run with, bingo, we're going to start with Darkseid. Done. Who's number 2? Lex Luthor. Ooh, Lex Luthor, scary. Alright, the guy is, one of Superman's most formidable enemies. The fact that he's a man obsessed with taking down what he sees as a god. He's a billionaire, so he has, he's a very rich, he has access to kryptonite. But the problem is he only poses a threat to Superman. I mean, Batman's more than intelligent, more than capable of seeing through any ruse of Lex Luthor's. Or the Justice Lords of America. Again, an alternate, an Earth 2 universe sort of situation. That would be cool. We've never seen in any superhero film, them take on alternate personas of themselves. And you could, of course, bring in the whole, it would just be a very cool and interesting thing to see, seeing what Batman would be like perhaps if he was a killer, because of course they could do their own spin, seeing if Batman was, did indulge himself in killing, and see himself perhaps becoming this, borderline psychotic killer who, clings to the, this whole sort of keeping law and order to its maximum as the only thing that keeps him, borderline sane. Superman, who's imposed himself as this actual god, perhaps taken Wonder Woman as his wife. You've got perhaps the Green Lantern has seized control of the entire Green Lantern's corps and now use them as his own personal intergalactic army. Aquaman, a man who can now summon the oceans to flood entire cities and continents if they, displease him. And the Flash, well, what are they going to do with the Flash? I mean, the Flash, of course, in the Justice Lords, what causes the Justice Lords to become Justice Lords is killed. So would they write that in? I mean, this is the problem. There's so much material you could use, but so much material that has been used. What they did with the Avengers film felt very new and interesting. Likewise with all of the Avenger films, felt very new and interesting. A lot of the origin stories, of course, were kept mostly the same with a couple tweaks here and there. But what they did with the actual Avengers film was really good fun. So what really I'm probably getting at, which I've come about to, is have fun. Really have fun. Give us the realistic, gritty, well, gives the realistic and deep and meaningful interpretation of the Avengers, the Justice League of America story that we want. That's what it should be. That's actually what I'm getting at. Do it like that, but make it fun. Really make it fun. Have fun with the characters. You're dealing with some of the most iconic characters in comic book history ever. Yeah, you've got Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. The Man of Steel, the Dark Knight, the Amazonian God. Goddess. Sorry, you are dealing with the three most iconic superheroes of all time, and I will say that more iconic than Marvel. I consider myself more of a Marvel fan than DC. In fact, DC, I only like a handful of their superheroes. The rest, I think, in my opinion, are goofy. So yeah, that's why I think the Justice League of America film could be good as long as they do it right. They really need to think of it. Warner Bros, I doubt you're watching, or whoever it is, whoever's greenlighting this film, don't try to compete with Avengers Phase 2. You ain't gonna win. Not first time round. Wait. Do a script. Do something that really think about it. Really interlink the stories. Really have this nice overarching web. Really good, powerful plot points. Really good character development. I want to care about these guys. I don't want to see caricature types. I don't want to see boring dime a dozen interpretation of Batman. I don't want to see the colourless, bland just oh, look at my boobs, Wonder Woman. Because again, Wonder Woman's apart from Hawk Girl, Wonder Woman's the only female character that's going to be, well, if they bring in Hawk Girl, no one knows who they're going to do. They may not do Hawk Girl at all. They may not even do Hawkman. Wonder Woman for the time being is going to be the only female on the superhero team. Let's have her be deep and meaningful. And I just realised I said deep. That's childish. You're childish. Don't think like that. So yeah, build these characters up, build this story up, build a saga, a superhero saga. Imagine that, DC. You could be the guys, Warner Bros. You could do this superhero saga. We've never had that before. What you did with the Dark Knight, what you're hopefully going to do with Man of Steel, do it again, but with all of them. Yeah, I'm sure you can do it. There's seriously plenty of material. Just make sure that it all feels good, and it's watchable. And no cheesy pie. And so, yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. That's really what I wanted to say to you. This, of course, is a subject that is open to a lot of debate. So please do leave your comments, leave your opinions. If you want to hear more about Mr. Phil, I'm sure I can probably get him on one of these episodes one day. I do want to bring it into sort of more of a wider sort of cast for this. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, from me, the Wild West Gamer, I bid you adieu. And yeah, maybe next video I'm going to speak in Russian, or maybe do like an Arnie. Perhaps I do an Arnie one, an entire video like speaking as Arnie, because I've been told I do a really good Arnie impression. I could do it now for you. I can't. I'm shy. So yeah. Oh yeah, and also as you may notice, more personality is coming into this. I've got over my stage fright. So awesome, guys. Thank you for the views so far. We've got a really nice amount, some really good subscriptions. 5, I think we're at 5 or 6. So again, that's really awesome, guys. I tried to leave comments, thanking you guys, for being so good and giving us the time to watch. We know we've had views in Russia, America, Asia. That's awesome. People around the world are starting to watch. Really big thank you, guys. Thank you very much indeed. It's really, really, it's just really flattering. And really touching to have you guys watch my stuff and like it. Gonna try and upgrade my tech soon, try and upgrade my equipment so that you're gonna see me in HD, as much as that terrifies you, and perhaps try and sort out some proper gameplay footage for you. Well, that's a long. Right, so anyway, thanks guys, thanks for watching, and from myself, the Wild West Gamer, here on the Wild West Gamer Show in the Gaming Grotto. Thanks for watching, guys. Treat yourselves to a bath. See you later. Bye.